It's Melanie here. Wednesday night we are having some, oh, I didn't even turn it on, I thought I did. Sorry, we are having some spaghetti in our quick cooker, which is my favorite way to cook it. I think it comes out perfect every time. And without being overcooked, the noodles seem to get like fatter or something. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's the way I love to make it. Plus it's so easy. All you have to do to clean up is you wipe out the lid, and the inner pot is dishwasher safe, so you're not waiting on any water to boil, you're not scrubbing out the bottom of any pots. You can do it literally all in the one pot, and it's amazing. So I've got it preheating. I had turned it to sear and hit start, which is that's what I did at the beginning. I thought I did that before I started talking, so I'm going to give it just another minute to get going. But our quick cooker comes with 16 pre-programmed settings, and that is pretty amazing. So it's just taking out all of the guesswork. So if you're cooking chicken, you just toss your chicken in and turn it to chicken. If you're cooking rice, you just toss it in and turn it to rice. And there's also a guide that tells you, that gives you times for, recommended times for different foods. So even if you're doing chicken and there's different kinds of chicken, you can look at the guide and change up the time, but it's gonna have the right pressure and everything. A couple other things about our quick cooker is the sides and the top don't get hot to the touch, which is really pretty amazing. I know there are some others on the market that is a problem. And also here over on our lid, our steam release button and our steam release valve are far enough away from each other that it's not going to burn your finger, and it's positioned in a way that when it releases the steam, it goes that way, away from you. And then once this little red indicator comes up, which is what it does when it comes to pressure, you can't turn the lid to take it off with that up. So for the lid to go flying off or anything, you'd literally have to push that down, probably burn your finger in the process because steam will come out for it to be able to come off. So some extra safety features, which I really appreciate. I know I was a little bit afraid to use a pressure cooker the first time, and then I've never had any problems with this, and I absolutely love it. All right, so I've got my ground turkey here. I'm just going to dump that in. And if you like onions, you could add onions to this. If I added onions, my kids would go, "Ah, why are there onions?" So I'm just gonna break it up with my mix and chop. And kind of put it in a layer. This turkey's chicken. Let it get browned on that side. And while that's starting to cook, I'm going to keep going back and chopping it up a little bit. I've got some crushed tomatoes here. I'm going to season that up. This is the way I like to make tomato sauce. If you have a favorite tomato sauce that you like to use, you can certainly do that. I just like to make it up myself because it's cheaper. I know it's going in there. So, you know, when you look at those 99-cent sauces, sometimes you look at what's in them and you're like, oh man, so I can make just as cheap, if not cheaper. And again, I just put in some Italian seasoning, a little bit of granulated garlic. You can certainly do some crushed garlic and add it in with your meat. That would be great. And then a little bit of salt. And I like to measure with my hand. That's probably really, I would start with a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and a half teaspoon of salt and maybe half teaspoon of garlic powder, and then go from there, give it a taste and see if that's what you like. You want to add in some other things. It would be great to add in some crushed red pepper, would be delicious. You could add in some basil or some fresh basil. I'm just going to chop that up a little bit more. Try to scrape it off the bottom of the pan. We'll do that a little bit better when we add in the tomatoes. So really, this is really the hardest part here, is browning up your meat. So that's pretty easy. Again, I love not having to use two separate pots, not two separate pots to wash. I love that I don't have to wait for the water to boil. And again, it just comes out perfect every time. And you know, I would say start with the 10 minutes. If you prefer a little more al dente after you try that, just take it down 1 minute. If you want it a little more cooked, take it up 1 minute. I think the 10 minutes turns out perfect. I also use whole wheat spaghetti too, so that might make a difference. But I think I've done it with regular too, and I've never had a problem. And this is totally customizable. You don't have to use meat. This recipe will work with just if you put the sauce in and skip the browning stage. You can use ground sausage, ground pork, ground beef. We're just doing ground turkey today because I was trying to make it a little bit healthier and because I was buying ground turkey for something else. So I went for the 2-pound package. Ooh, before I've taken our garlic slicer and sliced garlic into this, and it just gives you little pops of garlic. That's really good. Like I said, today I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible. Looks about ready there, so I am going to hit cancel. I am just going to dump in this tomato sauce that I just made and give it a little stir, and I'm just going to kind of scrape the bottom with the mix and chop just to make sure you get those brown bits off. And I'm going to come over here and grab 2 cups of water. Hard to see there because of the tomato sauce was covering up my lines. All right, so this is with a really highly technical part here, guys. You take your spaghetti, and this is just half a package. You only need 8 ounces of spaghetti for this, and you throw it all over the floor. Don't do that. You break it in half, which I'm sorry if you're Italian and that offends you, but it's the only way to fit it, make it fit. Put it in there, and you just kind of do different directions. And then you gently press it down in so that it's down in the liquid, but you don't want to stir it because you don't really want it to be on the bottom of the pot. You just want to gently set it down in there. Then you put on your lid. There we go. And make sure that your button's flush so the steam's not going to escape. You go to custom and time, turn it down to 10 minutes. And hit start. Then it's going to come to pressure. When it's done, we're going to push the button to release it, and I'll be back to show you what's going on. Thanks for watching. Hey you guys, my quick cooker just beeped at me. So my pasta is done. I'm going to hit cancel. If you don't hit cancel, it's just going to go immediately into a keep warm setting. And if you have your natural release, that's just, you just leave it on and you let the pressure come down naturally. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to do what we call a quick release. So all my steam's going to come out. So I'm actually going to turn my fan on here. Push the button. You see it's going away from me. So I'm going to move it up there a little bit closer to it. So steam's just going out. And you'll notice the steam, it'll stop making noise, but when it's done, this little red indicator will go down. And it's still a little bit early for us to eat, so I'm not going to make everything else now, but we are going to serve up this spaghetti with some broccoli. I'm going to use frozen broccoli. I'm just going to steam it up in my micro cooker, and then top it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese that I'm going to grate up with my microplane fine grater. Oh man, it smells so good as soon as that comes out. the steam's starting to go. Slow down a little bit. And it's recommended that you, when you use your quick cooker or pressure cooker, that you don't do it under cabinets. I do mine under my microwave because I don't really have anywhere here to, I don't really have anywhere that doesn't have cabinets over it that is close to an outlet. So I just do it under the microwave and turn on the fan. And then when I turn on then I turn it on when I want to release. So it's all done. Turn off my fan. Turn my lid, and look at that. You got to give it a good stir to get everything mixed in. But how amazing is that? It's like the easiest spaghetti ever, and it's so good. And you guys, I really recommend that you try my my pasta sauce because you're not going to believe that it's delicious. And here we go, perfectly cooked noodles. All right, guys, so that's all. Thanks for watching. If you make this, let me know. Tell me how you like it in the comments. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.